Chapter 27, Part 3, the last part of this chapter. Enforcement with regard to antitrust laws and exemptions. So the federal agencies that enforced antitrust laws are the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission. And that was established by the Federal Trade Commission Act that we talked about earlier. Section 5 of that act condemns all forms of anti-competitive behavior that are not covered under other federal antitrust laws. Only the Department of Justice can prosecute violations of the Sherman Act, whether they're criminal or civil. But under the Clayton Act, either the Department of Justice or the Federal Trade Commission can seek to enforce the laws of the Clayton Act. Both the Department of Justice or the FTC can ask the courts to impose various remedies, including divestiture, which means to get rid of your ownership or of an operation, or or dissolution of the particular business. The Federal Trade Commission has the sole authority to enforce violations of Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act. Private actions, if it's not the government taking action, a private party who's been injured by a violation of the Clayton or Sherman Act can sue and obtain treble, which means triple damages plus attorney's fees. They can also seek injunctive relief to prevent antitrust violations. If you are a private party and you want to sue under the Sherman Act, you have to prove that the antitrust violation either caused or was a substantial factor in causing the injury that you suffered. You have to show that the unlawful actions of the accused party affected business activities of the plaintiff and were protected by antitrust laws. Exemptions from antitrust laws. Most of the statutory and judicially created exemptions apply only in certain areas. One of the most significant is joint efforts to obtain legislative, judicial, or executive action. Extraterritorial application of antitrust laws. Any foreign business conspiracy that has a substantial effect on U.S. commerce is within the reach of the Sherman Act. And U.S. courts are going to exercise jurisdiction if it's shown that the alleged violation had a substantial effect on U.S. commerce. Finally, U.S. jurisdiction is automatically invoked when a per se violation occurs. And U.S. firms can be subject to antitrust laws of other nations if the firm has a substantial effect of commerce in that foreign situation, foreign nation. Okay, so that ends chapter 27. We have one chapter left, chapter 28, which is related to chapter 27, and again will be a short video. Once again, the magic word for chapter 27 is monopoly.